For the people who watch Tucker Carlson, what I'm going to show you is not shocking or out of the ordinary. In fact, it's one of the main reasons a lot of people like Tucker Carlson. But a lot of people on the Twitter just cannot comprehend what the talk is about to say. So I'm going to play you the video and we're going to comment afterwards.
Here's another idea. Why not make the people who benefited the most from the lockdowns, the people who've encouraged them from day one, pay for the effects of those lockdowns? Why wouldn't you assess, I don't know, Amazon and Apple and Goldman Sachs and Google and Netflix and Walmart, all the big winners in this pandemic? Why wouldn't you assess them a one-time COVID fee, take it out of their record profits, and make them pay for the next bailout? Why are you paying for it? Jeff Bezos, for example, is now the richest man in the history of the world. Maybe he could share the load in a meaningful way. He's not sharing it with his employees. And while we're at it, why not make Harvard and Yale and Stanford and Princeton use their endowments to pay off some of the student debt they caused? There's no reason ordinary taxpayers should be on the hook for their spending. Ordinary taxpayers have suffered enough. Here's the bottom line. The rich are getting richer. Everyone else is getting poorer. That's not a talking point. It's true.
Now, as you go on Twitter, you will see that a lot of left-leaning people just cannot believe that he actually said this. You get people saying, I understand he went on to defend capitalism directly after saying this, but damn, not a single Democratic congressperson, besides Bernie Sanders has proposed anything like this. Damn, socialism on Fox News, what the hell? And you get like a lot of left-leaning people, including Shuanhead, I guess she pops up in my mentions, and people with roses and hammer and sickles, just unable to believe that this is on Fox News and this is what Tucker Carlson is saying. For the rest of us that actually do follow Tucker Carlson, we know that he has a lot of segments talking about things like this. In fact, it's one of the reasons that left-leaning people despise Tucker Carlson, because they do not want the populist left and the populist right to find common ground. And believe it or not, I do think that is common ground. Take Bernie Sanders, for example, and look at the things he was saying 10 years ago. Not that different from what Donald Trump was saying. No more perpetual war in the Middle East. What, open borders? That's a Goldman Sachs proposal. This is Bernie Sanders. He was like that. So there is, in my opinion, this group of people that have the same grievances. They just look towards different ideologies in order to fix these grievances. And the main problem is that most of the people that are on the left right now, they completely tune out from people like Tucker Carlson. They just don't watch him. And the only way they get information about people like Tucker Carlson is when they get a clip from one of their trusted sources, which takes Tucker out of context. Now, I'm not going to say that Tucker is the Messiah and that you should listen to what he says religiously. You should treat him just like any other human being. Occasionally, he makes good points. And when he does, you should separate the point from the person that said it and try to intellectually engage with the point. See if it has any merit. This is what I like to do, is to think for myself. I don't look at figureheads that think for me. And people like Tucker is important because he puts certain opinions that usually might be out of the overtone window. It puts them out there and people can engage with them. And in this particular thing, yeah, I do agree that Amazon should pay, and I'll tell you why. Last year, on December, when all of this started, I looked towards China and I was thinking like, so this thing can be transmissible from person to person, 2 weeks incubation period. Looks nasty. It looks nasty. And I told people that watch me, like, go out, buy some hand sanitizers, buy some tissues, buy certain things that it's good to have in your household anyway. But if you don't buy them, they're going to be more difficult to find in stores. And if you do find them in stores, they're going to be more expensive. And people like me were being called alarmists. Like, I'm an alarmist. And mind readers were saying that the reason I'm an alarmist is because I'm racist, because it's coming from China, because if it would have came from Spain, people like myself wouldn't have anything to say, right? So I was an alarmist. Now, the same people that were calling me an alarmist, they're saying I'm not alarmed enough. that I should be more alarmed about this. And now the problem is that I'm not enough alarmed. Okay, fine, whatever. My point here is that other people like myself predicted this. And what did they do? They went on and they bought hand sanitizers en masse, masks, other things. They made an investment. They could have been wrong. They could have just invested all this money into hand sanitizer and the disease could have never come into the West. And they would have lost their money, but they were accurate in their assessment. So when they wanted to make a profit from their investment, Amazon says, no, we can't allow people to profit off of pandemic. This is Amazon saying. Now, I don't want the company to lie. All right, I don't like liars, and I want to help companies be honest and truth and have good PR. So yes, I think Amazon should now not profit from a pandemic. They should pay this tax that Tucker Carlson is talking about. And I guarantee to you, if all the companies that have been profiting off of a pandemic would have to pay a tax, and all of the government, the politicians and the people who work in government would have to get their wage cut as a show of solidarity towards the people, which leaders should do, like they should lead by example and show that, yeah, well, we champion equality, so obviously we're all in this together. Like, it's not fair to tell the restaurant owner to stay home while I get a paycheck. No, I'm going to show solidarity. I still need to do my job. It's an essential business. I have to go and risk my life in the parliament or in the Congress, right? But at the same time, I'm going to show a little bit of solidarity and not get a paycheck while I tell the restaurant owner to stay at home. I am willing to bet that if this was the case, in less than a week, all these people that are so compassionate and they care about others and they care about health and safety, they would stop caring about health and safety. They would immediately just advocate no more shutdowns, let's go back to work. Why? Because it's all about the dollar. It's all about the Benjamin. I find it very difficult to believe that people like Jeff Bezos legitimately can't sleep at night because some guy is selling hand sanitizers on Amazon. But it's good to flap your mouth. It's good to go like blah, 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 blah in order to appear virtuous. Because in the past, in order to be virtuous, you actually had to donate to the poor. You actually had to put some soup in front of a homeless person. Now to be virtuous is just doing the talky, flapping your mouth, saying the correct things, speaking the speech, and all of a sudden, oh yes, that is just an excellent human being. I find it a little bit despicable. And, by the way, this is not socialism what Tucker is asking. It's still capitalism. The problem is that when an entity, regardless if it's the government, a company, or some guy, hurts your business, he needs to pay damages. If I, let's say, open a can of Schustroming, which is one of the most stinkiest cans of fish that mankind has ever conceived, and because I have opened that can of Schustroming, my entire building needs to be evacuated, I need to pay damages for other people that might have run their business in this building. Why? Because I am the one that caused the shutdown. So when the government does this, at the behest of other companies, it's only fair and natural that they contribute. Am I wrong here? Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.